Myself, Dr. Pravita Kumar, Professor, Department of Chemistry, Shri Aurobindo College, University of Delhi. Learners, in previous class, series of derived lipids, we had discussed about the terpenes, and we have seen there what are terpenes and how can we classify the terpenes, and also we had learned there biosynthesis of terpenes, how squalene was biosynthesized from carotenoids. Also we had discussed about what lipid soluble vitamins, because there are two types of vitamins, one is water soluble vitamins and another is lipid soluble vitamins, and we had learned there how vitamin A biosynthesized within the biochemical process or during the physiochemical process change into vitamin A. In this lecture, we are going to discuss derived lipids, that is steroids. What are human steroids? What are the structure of steroids? How can we classify steroids? And very important steroids, that is cholesterol. How can we biosynthesize the cholesterol? And along with that, what are synthetic steroids? Learners, as we know, derived lipids are the lipids which can be obtained by the hydrolysis of simple lipids and compound lipids, or we can see the lipids are three types: simple, compound and derived. So here steroids are the part of derived lipids. These steroids are biologically active organic compounds. These are the, because we are going to discuss here both type of steroids, human steroids and synthetic steroids. So these human steroids are biologically active organic compounds and comes into the category of derived lipids. The steroids are widely distributed in all living organisms and play important role in the form of hormones, sterols and cholesterol, and these are the most common steroids present in human body. Also precursors to vitamin D, testosterone, estrogen, progesterone, aldosterone, cortisol and bile salts. So these are all steroids which comes into the category of derived lipids. As I told you, the derived lipids can classified into three parts. One is carotenoids, which and terpenes we had already discussed in the previous part. So that third part, which is the steroids. Steroids are also biosynthesized during the biochemical process from the terpenes, that is are not natural product, also found in many oil and plants. So we can synthesize squalene from the terpenes, and the squalene is precursor to all form of steroids, whether that are sex hormones or they are vitamin D or also cholesterol. So they are, why they are lipids? They are lipids because they are soluble in only fats. Also they are hydrophobic and insoluble in water. But learners, these steroids are structurally not similar to the lipids, to the especially simple lipids, as we had discussed in the previous classes. Simple lipids are like fatty acids, fats and waxes. They are having two parts. One is hydrophilic, but other is hydrophobic. So structurally steroids are totally different from the simple lipids, and these steroids take part in body metabolism. They are the cyclic compound. Steroids are the cyclic compounds, and they are having perhydrophenanthine ring, which is attached with a cyclopentane ring, and perhydrophenanthine ring plus cyclopentane ring is called steroid nucleus. On your screen you can see the structure of many steroids. Cortisol. Cortisol is a glucosteroids and very important part of our biological system. It enhances the activity of glucose in our physiological system. So these are the different type of steroids you can see on your screen, and all steroids, all these structures contain perhydrophenanthine, and along with that perhydrophenanthine ring plus a cyclopentane ring. If we talk about the role of steroid in human body, the steroids are very important and play a crucial role in our physiological part, that is important for cardiovascular fitness, for bone metabolism, for inflammatory response, also carbohydrate regulations, that is cortisol, and this is glucocorticoids, mineral balance, that is mineral corticoids, reproductive functions, gonadal steroids, also very important for our maintaining stress response and cognition and mood. Now I'll explain you how can we draw the structure of steroids. On your screen you are looking 4 ring. As I told you in the previous slide, there is a 4 ring which I have represented here with A, B, C and D. If you are looking here, ring A, B and C are 6-membered ring. So they are cyclohexane. So this is the 6-membered ring. These 3 rings are 6-membered ring, and that C ring is joined with a 5-membered ring. So it means that this is the steroid nucleus, and this steroid nucleus contain 4 rings, total 4 rings, A, B, C and D. So out of 4 rings, ring A, B, C are 6-membered ring, while ring D is a 5-membered ring. So total number of carbon in this steroid nucleus is 17. So we can say all the human steroids contain 4-membered ring, 4 ring, 3 6-membered ring and 1 is 5-membered ring. So total number of carbon here, all rings are 17 carbon. So depending upon the side chain or the substituent attached on that steroid nucleus which you are looking on your screen, we can classify the steroids. Steroids also active in brain where they affect the nervous system. These are the neurosteroids, and these neurosteroids alter electrical activity and can decreases brain activity depending upon the amount of the neurosteroids or releasing of the neurosteroids. Important component of the cell membrane. These steroids are very important component or very important part of our cell membrane. They can alter cell fluidity. Also important, very important signaling molecule. And learners, very important point, steroids occur naturally in our body. This is again you are looking on your screen is a steroid nucleus. So in that steroid nucleus, at position 10 and position 13, there is a 2-methyl group, right? So or according to the position of these 2-methyl group, thus ring A and B can be cis or trans. So you are looking at same steroid, as I told you, all steroids having same steroid nucleus. So depending upon the substituent or side chain, we can classify the steroid. So here you are looking number 10, carbon number 10 and carbon number 13 are having 2-methyl group. So on basis of that, the ring A and B can be cis or trans. So you are looking on your screen the CH3 group which is present at carbon 10 and the hydro H atom which you are looking on, that is a slash wedge bond and one is a dark bond. So these are the CH3 and H. So one is above the plane, one is behind the plane. So both are in trans position. So in this case, CH3 and H are trans. So A and B ring are trans to each other. Similarly, this is again steroid nucleus. It is a cyclohexane ring, or you can see on your screen, and along with that cyclohexane ring, the D ring is a cyclopentane ring. So A and B ring fusion is trans. So A and B ring both are transfused over here. Again, according to the position of CH3 and H, the ring AB can be cis. So on your screen, you are looking here the CH3 and H both are cis in this ring. The CH3 which is present at 10 position and CH3 which is present at 13 position, they are angular methyl group. And learners, this is the most stable form of steroid nucleus. Again, it is a steroid conformation, and in this steroid conformation, you can see here A and B, that is cis to each other, and methyl group at 10 and 13 position are called angular methyl group, and in most naturally occurring steroids, A and B ring are trans positions. Now very important, how you will draw the structure of steroid. Very important, you have to also remember these important points. When steroid structure is drawn, both angular methyl group are shown above the plane. Same side of steroid ring system called beta substituents, and opposite side of the plane of the ring called alpha substituents. So beta substituents can be represented in a solid wedge line, and alpha substituent can be represented in a hashed wedge line. So on the basis of that, we can classify the steroids. So again on your screen, you are looking steroid nucleus. Learners, it is a parent nucleus, right? We also called it parent steroid nucleus. So if parent steroidal nucleus is without CH3, as on your screen you are looking here, the position number 10 and position number 13, right? So position number 10 and position number 13 are not having methyl group. So in this case, and also there is no double bond in this steroid nucleus. In this case, this is called gonane. Gonane. It is also steroids, but when position number 10 and position number 13 do not occupied with any methyl group, which we have called angular methyl group, the structure is called gonane. And you are looking on your screen at position number 5 there is a hydrogen atom which is represented here dotted line or slashed line. It is called 5 alpha guanine. So when there is no methyl group at position number 10 and 13 we call guanine, and if hydrogen is present at number 5, carbon number 5, we call alpha guanine. Similarly, on your screen, this is the same guanine ring, right? But here on your screen, you are looking here, the methyl group is present at side number 13, carbon number 13, and there is no side chain. In the previous also structure you have seen, in the guanine structure you have seen there was also no side chain. So and learners also, though at carbon number 5 you are looking here, there is hydrogen as present. So it is 5 alpha estrane, right? So when this carbon number 13 in a steroid nucleus having methyl group and there is no bond, double bond in the steroid nucleus, it is called 5 alpha estrane. Another class of steroid is methyl group contained when carbon number 10 and carbon number 13. So you can see here, this is the carbon number 10 and here on the 13, but also there is no side chain. But again, though hydrogen is present at carbon number 5, which we have represented here, alpha position. So this structure is called, this type of nucleus is called androsteroids. So guanine, estrane and androestane on the basis of methyl group and the side chain at carbon number 10 and 13 can be beta also, 5 beta guanine, 5 beta estrane, 5 beta androestane. So but here what is the difference over here? The difference is that the hydrogen which we have seen in the alpha position in case of guanine, estrane, androestane, that were represented by slash line, but here that is the behind the plane, right? So they can be alpha or they can be beta. Another very important point I wanted to discuss here, cholestanes, cholanes, pregaines, androestane and estranes. Learners, these are the fully saturated steroid nucleus which are derived from cholesterol. Cholesterane is derived from cholesterol. Cholanes is derived from cholic acid which is having 24 carbon atom. Cholesterol having 17 carbon atom. Pregaine is derived from progesterone which is having 21 carbon atom. Androestane is derived from testosterone which is having 19 carbon atom. Similarly, that estrane is derived from estradiol which is having 18 carbon atom. So learners, I wanted to tell you, these are found as a biomarkers in the rocks or sedimentary layers when the fossils or living organism buried. So after the decomposition of living organism in sedimentary rocks or under the rocks, they can change via the process of diagenesis during the microbial activity. So that microbial activity, that change into cholestanes, cholanes, pregaines, androestane, estranes. So these are the fully saturated steroids molecules and they are biomarkers. Still we are having a lot of biomarkers in our history, we can find out. Now this is the cholestane. As I told you, it is derived from the cholesterol. So cholesterol is having a side chain, that is C27. Total number of carbon is now C27. So that steroid nucleus having 17 carbon atom, and further there is a side chain. So that is a cholesterol which is derived from the cholesterols. Similarly, that is androstenedione, which are having 2 methyl group at C10 and C13 position. This is the structure of pregains. Total number of carbon is C21. 21 how that number comes, because there is a side chain CH2 CH3, right. Similarly, C24 skeleton, which is a covalence. So on your screen you are looking here, there is no double bond, there is only a steroid nucleus, and along with the steroid nucleus there is carbon side chain. This is C18 estrane, structure of estrane you can see on your screen. Another type of steroid is corticosteroids. So these, as I told you, these are the naturally occurring steroids, and all these steroids are different from anabolic steroids, and they are classified as, these corticosteroids classified as cortisol, corticosterone, cortisone, aldosterone. So all these are the steroids which are present in human body. So if you are looking here, cortisone, what is cortisone? You can see on your screen, all are having a steroid nucleus. As I told you, steroid nucleus contain 3 cyclohexane ring plus a cyclopentane ring. So that cyclopentane ring contain a side chain. So in all structure you can see the ring A having double bond, and the one carbon is carbonyl attached with a double bonded carbon atom, and also having a side chain. This is the structure of corticosterone. Again you can see the structure of aldosterone. Now in this, again here we will see another type of steroids, that is cardiac glycosides. What is cardiac glycosides? So in this cardiac glycosides, as by the term you can see, these steroids contain sugar molecule, glucose molecules. So here same steroid nucleus A, B, C, and the A nucleus contain a sugar unit, 3 sugar unit, and again the cyclopentane ring which is contain a furan ring which are having double bonded oxygen. So this is digoxin which is obtained from the nature, lactones moiety having, and it is also sugar molecule at ring A, and total number of carbon in the ring is having 17. So these are the very important cardiac, we can say here, steroids, cardiac glycosides, and they are very important for the maintaining of the sugars in the main blood stream. So enhance the brain activity during the biochemical process. Another important cardiac glycosides you can see on your screen, again having sugar unit, and it is increase the phase of contractions in the heart. So it is G-D-toxin which is also cardiac steroids, and due to presence of this cardiac steroids, it is very important for our heart muscles, and it increase the phase of contraction in heart. So here we have discussed about the derived lipids, as derived lipids are obtained from the hydrolysis of simple lipids and compound lipids, and from that derived lipids, that is terpenes and carotenoids, and from the terpenes we can biosynthesize that squalene, and learners, squalene is precursor to all steroids, or we can say all the hormones, steroidal hormones which are present in our physiological system. Thank you.